Welcome to the third episode of How to Create a Cake in Blender 2.8. It's gonna be awesome, it already looks quite good. Actually, it looks like a sponge or a weird rocky cheese, but it doesn't stop me from continuing this series until the end. For the final touch on the model, let's duplicate the first layer of the cream and push it down. Now press S and Z to resize it vertically, which should trick the eye into thinking this is actually a different layer of a cream and not the same copy. Of course, if you want to make the cream more unique, it's easy to do. Just go into the texture tab, like we did in the previous episodes, and create a new displacement texture and replace the basic displacement texture on the first displace modifier. For now, we are finished. To create the little mountain of whipped cream, we will use a different kind of modeling. If you know my dinner scene series, which you can watch by tapping or clicking up there, then you might have noticed the technique and workflow is pretty similar to it, but this version is on steroids. I'm trying to slowly introduce more modeling techniques and bringing you all up to intermediate level. The similarity means we will use curves but not in a way you will think. For this, shift right click anywhere and go into top orthographic mode. Now shift A and add the plane object. Now add the subdivision modifier. Increase the viewport resolution by 1 and apply the modifier. Now go into edit mode and select every second vertex on the bounding edges. Make sure to start from the second on the top and not the first one. If you selected them all, use S to resize them. This will drag them into the middle, making this star shape. Pull these middle vertices into the middle, then go into face select mode and select all vertices. Now that you selected all, press X and only faces. This will leave us with the outline. Delete everything in the middle with X and the edges. This star will be the bevel object for our whipped cream. Go into the object menu and convert this into a curve object. Add the Bezier curve and on the curve tab add this star as a bevel object. The best thing is that the star is low poly and we can add the subdivision surface modifier for this to make it higher poly. This will give us more flexibility in the final render and we can reuse this later in other scenes, dynamically changing the resolution anytime we want. Go into edit mode and let's extrude the curve with E. Look at reference pictures or follow me. I will do a cream pile which is somehow similar to the top of a cupcake. Keep spinning this around with E and use these red lines to move the curve. Add a subdivision surface because although I talked about it, I haven't added one myself and now it's clear how nice this looks like. It's very realistic. With Alt S we are able to change the thickness of individual curve points. So with Alt S we are changing the thickness. As I said, I'm creating a pile of cream, so I'm twisting it in this way around. The tail of the cream will stay very thin and small, and now the beginning point should be 2. Now continue rotating these contour points to make the curve better. You can still select them all and resize them as you see. Now Shift D and add this to the top of our cake. I'm doing further adjustments like making the top better. Grab these points and rotate them. This also rotates the bevel object, but for this tutorial it doesn't matter what the direction of the star shape is around the curves. I'm probably sticking with this when the paths are further away and not touching each other. I deleted the top of the curve pile because I didn't like it. The tail will be shorter now, which is good. I'm in orthographic mode now and doing more adjustments. Use Alt-D to duplicate this object. We are using Alt-D so the data will be linked between the objects, so later when we add a material to one of them, all of them will have the same material. Also, if you don't like the shape, later it's easier to modify it. Okay, I duplicated them into the edge. Let's resize them and correct the spacing. Nice. Select all and resize. I'm changing to individual origins from the median points so they will be resized individually and stay in their place. Okay, that's good. I will copy this plane and create a marzipan top because I'm secretly a confectioner, so I'm creating a unique cake. I always try to create unique things unless I want to copy something 100% as I like my work to be different from others. Of course, with the techniques I showed you, you can change both the whipped cream and the marzipan plane isn't required, but I think it's pretty good and I like marzipan on cakes. The last correction to the model will require you to go into edit mode on the basic cake object and select random points down here. If you copied what I did and sunk this into the white plane, that's good, just don't forget to only select points under the plane. Now, with proportional editing, pull them up. This will create the chocolate dripping effect that I was looking for. And that's it, we are done with the modeling. All that is left to texture this cake, although that will happen in the next and final episode. It's pretty easy by the way, but if you aren't a hardcore Blender user, you might want to look at texturing and creating the lighting so your scene will look realistic and have nice lighting. If you found this tutorial good, make sure to subscribe and press on the little bell icon so you won't miss out the next episodes of the series. Did you know I'm a CG trader? And did you know I give out free models there? As well, I'm making premium ones. If you want to support me, feel free to buy some of my premium models so I can eat a hamburger, maybe a blender burger. See you guys until the next episode.